Welcome to Dr. Charles Speaks, a podcast for now. You've joined us for a special series of transformational talks, selected exclusively from Dr. Charles's corporate success calls. The 15-minute calls are designed to encourage leaders, activate your thought life, and prepare you for the challenges ahead. Dr. Charles joins every call with a blend of his personal experiences, his expertise as a John Maxwell certified mentor and coach, and of course, his more than 30 years of exceptional experience in both corporate America and ministry. Get motivated with Dr. Charles Speaks, a transformational talk from the Red Line on today's podcast, inspiring excellence and generating results.
Good day, my friends and listeners. You have joined me on the Red Line Success Call, and I am forever grateful for you participating on this call. I certainly believe and I certainly hope that this call will make a difference in your week, that it will be positive for you and inspire you to continue to challenge yourself, for it's all about your personal leadership growth. Thank you, and thank you again for joining me. And so it is today. On this day, I want to talk to you about the subject area of your inner circle. We have an inner circle, those of you, your best friend, those folks that you hang out. Some folks say us four, no more. But the inner circle, I want to talk about it. I want to challenge you to examine your inner circle. A leader's potential, when you think about it, is determined by the people closest to him or her. The people that surround you, that surround me, makes a difference. Someone said, iron sharpens iron, and we want to always be sharp, and we want to be challenged. We want to be better than where we were and continue to grow. You know, lots of people, they want to ride with you in the limo, but what you want is someone who will take the bus with you when the limo breaks down. You want committed folks, people who have your best interests. You know, back in the 1980s, the buzzword in business circles was management. And then in the 90s, the emphasis was on leadership. Now, here in the 21st century, the emphasis is on team leadership. Why is that? Because nobody does everything well. Say it again. Because nobody does everything well. You see where we're going with this? No one person knows it all. And I know you may have a friend or a colleague who comes off like a know-it-all. They just have something to say about every subject and just come off as a know-it-all. But nobody really knows it all. And we as leaders, smart leaders, are ones who are going to listen to people, who are going to challenge themselves to move forward. Well, how do you do that? Well, you want to learn from people who are smarter than you. If you're the smartest person in the room, then you might want to reevaluate and get and challenge yourself to grow and become that much more knowledgeable. For at the end of the day, whether you're in business or whether you have your own business or you're in a corporation, we as leaders, we must deliver. And we can deliver more effectively by having the right people on our team. We're talking about the inner circle. And the reality is we've got to evaluate within ourselves our strengths and our weaknesses or opportunities that we have. Because once we are true to ourselves, then we can be able to identify the talent that's needed to help participate in what it is that we're trying to do to make better in our lives, to make better for our corporations, the companies which we work for, and just to be that much more in our growth to be a better person. So we must be able to understand that when it's all said and done, particularly in business, the bottom line, did we deliver? And we're only going to be able to deliver through others. There is no substitute for performance. You either did it or you didn't. You either won or you lost. But without a good team, they often don't get the opportunity to win. So potential is determined by those closest to them. So we have to understand what it is that each person brings to the table. I kind of relate things to sports, and I think about a baseball team. You have your inner circle of people, and you got a team full of outfielders. Well, Well, you're going to need some infielders if you want to field a team of 9 and be successful onto the field. So you may need an infielder. You may need a specific infielder that plays first base or second base or shortstop or third base or catcher. But you're going to have to be able to evaluate the strengths of the people that are around you to build a team that is going to be successful. Otherwise, if you have everybody who's an outfielder, they've got an outfielder glove trying to play the infield, which requires a smaller glove to catch the ball. And so it is important that they have the tools needed to be successful. It's important that you've identified where the missing link is, where you can go out onto the free agency list and draft or recruit or promote, bring someone to that position to fit this puzzle that is going to make all of the difference. We're always challenged as leaders to hire the best staff and that we can find and develop them as much as we can and to hand off everything that we possibly can to them. Now, I don't want you to miss that. We've got to become smart delegators who hand off everything that you possibly can to them so that everything can all gel together. Because when you think about it, nobody does anything great alone. Now, you can do what I cannot do. That's what we've got to understand. I can do what you cannot do. That's why you bring people together and you put it all on the table, what you can do and what you can't do, and you learn from each other because there's something in them that you need to build yourself and something within yourself that they need to take away. And when you compound that information together, it's going to make a difference. And so Mother Teresa, she once said this. She said, together we can do great things. Another way of saying it, there is something I need from you, and there's something you need from me. I've said that, but it's worth repeating again. So that first point was nobody does anything great alone. You got that. You need a team, and you need to know how to position the teammates and be able to bring it all together. Number 2, you can go only so far on your own. Now think about this. You can work 12 hours a day and 6 days a week. Once you've reached your capacity in time and in energy, the only way you can increase your impact is really through others. And I know many of you out there are workaholics. I've certainly worn that title of being a workaholic. It's not a glamorous title, but it is a work ethic that you want to make sure everything is right. You want to do everything. You want to be able to make sure everyone around you is successful by checking off the box, by dotting the I and crossing the T. But then when you really think about the day, it's a long day. I tell folks, I say, I work a half a day, and they kind of perk up. You really? You work a half a day? I said, yeah, I work a half a day. And I said, well, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., that's a half a day. That's 12 hours. Well, even at 6 p.m., there is still work to be done. With all of the technology and people have different work habits, emails are continuously coming, whether you do them in the morning, in the noon, or at night. You can work 12 hours and peek at your laptop or your iPad or your phone 2 hours later at 8 o'clock, and you'll find you have 20 new messages. Are you going to stop and go and answer them, or you're going to wait till 6 a.m. again and work around that clock again to 6 p.m.? That's what you've got to come to understand, that you, in of yourself, 24 hours in a day, you're working 12 hours a day and you're working 6 days a week at 72 hours a week, you will fall out. You're probably not eating well. You're probably not exercising. You're probably not getting enough sleep. And so the reality sets in is that inner circle, that team, that is going to make all the difference. Everyone should be a point guard on the team. When I think about a basketball team, the point guard, they know when to take over the game and score. They know when to hand out an assist to make somebody better and set them up for a great shot. They know when to get into the film room with the coach and go over plays and strategies. You need that inner circle that's going to challenge you, that's going to bring another perspective. But at at the end of the day, it's all about a team winning together. So that second point, you can only go so far on your own. How you feeling me today? Because I think you understand by now that you need a team to be successful. It's lonely at the top, so you better take someone with you. Who could be a better companion than someone who lifts you up, someone who compliments you, not as a yes person, but a solid supporter, a solid friend, not someone who's just going to go along to get along, but someone who brings facts that makes sense, that is going to help the whole common goal and the common objective to get there to the top. So what have we said so far? In that inner circle, nobody does anything great alone. We're going from good to great, and you can only go so far on your own. Number 3, when you think about it, think of any highly effective leader that perhaps you work for, and you will find someone who surrounded him or herself with a strong inner circle. They've done it. They consistently are achieving results year after year, and you wonder how are they able to do it. They do it by surrounding themselves with great people. You know, the leader finds greatness in the group, and he or she helps the members find it in themselves. Think about that. You are the one that identifies the talent. You're the one that looks in the very windows of the soul through their eyes and through their actions, and you can see how the puzzle comes together. You're able to bring them together. It's like an orchestra conductor. They have the instruments there. They have the horn sections. They have the drummers. They have all of these pieces, and they bring it all together in a concert, and they know immediately when something doesn't sound right or something sounds great, and the audience respects what they hear. They come back to hear it over and over again, and that's what we call success, because the leader starts with the leader. They find that greatness in the group, and then they help the members in the group find it in themselves. Solomon of ancient Israel, he recognized this truth. He said, as iron sharpens iron, friends sharpens the minds of each other. So today, seek for your inner circle people who help you improve, and you in turn will help them improve. I like to close with this. There are people who will either lift you up or people who will lean on you, but look for the lifters. Be with the people who bring out the best in you. Thank you, my friends and listeners, for this time, this moment that you shared your ear to listen to this message on the inner circle and evaluating who's going to make the best of you come out, and you in turn going to make a deposit in them. And the 2 of you and the 4 of you or the many of you will grow together, and you will be successful in all that you do and say. You have been on the Red Line, the Corporate Success Call, and I'm thankful and grateful. Now let's make it a great day and a great week. God bless you. Until next time, you have been speaking with Dr. Charles.
Thank you for listening to Dr. Charles Speaks. Visit drcharlesred.com for booking info for your ministry, business, or leadership team. Get info about the Red Line, a 15-minute corporate success call each Monday morning with Dr. Charles. Follow Dr. Charles on all social media at Dr. Charles Red. Subscribe to the podcast here for every episode of Dr. Charles Speaks. Thanks for joining us. Like Dr. Charles always says, no matter what, never, never, never give up. Until next time.